Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a pretty exciting day because today we're going to be finally protecting the underside of the Jetta with some epoxy primer. It's been a while since the last video and I have made a few changes to the car, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that right now. So last time you saw the car, it was full bare metal. I just went through and I finished up some of the last spots I had in the back and cleaned everything up a little bit. And the biggest thing that has changed is I broke out the welder and I patched up some of these rust spots that were on the car. Did some here, some spots there. And then I also plugged in these drain holes that come on the car from factory, but they're pretty useless and water just pools up there. And that's why the spots there were rusting out pretty badly. So I just went ahead, cut out little circles and welded those in too. I didn't film myself doing any of that, which kind of sucks. I don't have any footage of it. I do have pictures of the whole process, but that's okay. We're doing something fun today, which is painting the car, which is something I've never done before. So we're gonna see how that goes. And there's also more spots in the car that have to be welded, especially in the back or on the trunk area. So I'll probably make a video about that eventually. But as far as everything else in here pertaining to painting the car, it's pretty much set up. I've cleaned it up. I went through and did one last final sand, wiped everything down, got everything masked off. I'm gonna throw another piece of plastic over the floor just to make sure nothing else, no paint or anything gets on the floor. And then we're gonna go start setting up the paint supplies. It is January now here in North Carolina, so it's kind of cold outside. I think it's like 48 degrees outside right now. And for epoxy primer to, I guess, cure or flash the best, the technical data sheet calls for the metal to be like 70 something degrees. So I did buy this little space heater and I just heated the garage up. You can see over here I have this thermometer on the wall. It's like almost 70 in here now, maybe like 68. And that has helped warm up the metal a little bit. So I got this little thermometer thing so we could see what temperature the metal is. 66 right now. It was 70 a few minutes ago, but I turned the heater off to start recording. And now temperature's dropping a little bit, but that's okay. As long as we stay in the 60s, we should be fine. So I'm gonna hurry up and get everything set up so I can throw the first layer of paint on there. So as far as materials go, let me show you guys what I'm working with here. So first of all, the paint that I have, this is the epoxy primer that I'm gonna be using. So this is the actual primer here. It's high-tech 75004 2.1 VOC dark gray high bold epoxy primer, and then this is the catalyst in the same brand, and then we also have some reducer here to use as well. So I actually did have this Eastwood stuff that I ordered a while back, so I had everything set up and ready to paint. I had my gun set up and everything, the compressor was going, and then I went to mix these two in this cup, and as you can see, that doesn't look like paint. So I didn't know that this epoxy primer had a shelf life, especially not one less than like 2 years or anything like that. If the thing was sealed, I thought I would just open it up, mix it up, and it'd be fine to use. But that's not true. It actually like clumped up inside this can and hardened, and basically it's unusable now. So gonna have to throw that away. I went to my local automotive paint shop, picked these up. It was actually, I think, cheaper than this Eastwood stuff. It was like 133 bucks for all these three. And then I also got some prep towels to use as well. Next thing I have is this mixing cup set I got off Amazon. So basically this will attach to the top of the gun and replace that cup that's on there now. And it basically just has these little reusable liners and this nifty little measuring cup for mixing the paint together. So that'll help during the cleanup process. Some gloves, of course. The actual gun I'm using to spray, this is just a Husky HVLP gun I picked up from Home Depot. It's a composite gun. It's pretty nice. It feels pretty nice in the hands. It was 100 bucks. It feels pretty nice for what you pay for it. It's got a bunch of different adjustment knobs. I had to read through the manual and watch a couple YouTube videos to see what all those do exactly. I got this little light attachment from Harbor Freight, which is also where I got this inline filter and this other HVLP gun. So one thing I will say So I was planning on using this. This is like the baseline HVLP gun at Harbor Freight. It's like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I went to clean it out before I started using it. Try to take the tip off of this thing and it would not come off. So to show you what I'm talking about real quick. So there's the outside of it, but then this tip part that actually screws off here, you need like a special wrench first of all. To get that off, I didn't have the wrench. I tried to make one, and I did make one. I was able to make one that fit on there, and this thing is just screwed on so tight, I could not take it off for the life of me. And I looked it up, and apparently it's a common issue with these types of cheap guns where they screw them on super tight at the factory, and basically I was unable to get it off. I was super frustrated at that, so I just decided to go out, went to Home Depot, and got the one that's much better. I took this one off. I could immediately tell the difference. It was super easy to take the tip off. It came with the wrench, and you could use any standard box end wrench to take the tip off of that one. It wasn't gorilla tight on there, so it was super easy to come off and clean the whole gun. So now everything here is set up. The regulator set up on here. It actually came with the gun, which was nice. And I got my quick disconnect down here. Another part of the things I had from Eastwood was this PRE painting prep. So this is like a wax and grease remover that I just use to wipe down the car to get all the rest of the dust off and everything before I actually start to paint it. So next thing I'm gonna do is actually go ahead with the wax and grease remover and actually wipe down the car one more time before I get to painting, because the last time I wiped it down was the day I was trying to paint before this when I mixed up my Eastwood primer and stuff, and it turned out I couldn't use that. So that was like 2-3 days ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off anything that's settled on the car since that point. Also forgot to mention real quick, of course, safety is key when you're doing stuff like this, working with chemicals like this that can destroy your lungs. So pick up some nice safety equipment. I got this from Harbor Freight, P95. It's rated for all like types of solids and aerosols, and it is rated for organic vapors, which is very important when you're working with paint and stuff like this. Also real quick, another thing I wanted to show you was my air compressor setup. So this is my air compressor. It's a 60-gallon tank, Napa Nitro air compressor. I don't remember exactly what the specs are on the pump or the motor, but it's obviously takes 220 volt and it pumps out enough air, or more than enough air, for the HVLP gun. So that's one thing. If you're planning on spraying a gun like that, you do need an air compressor that's able to keep up with the air consumption. So this one, it doesn't have to be this big. I think you can get away with some small air compressors that I see people do online all the time. But this is my setup. I have the compressor. And then another thing that's also important for spraying with HVLP guns is making sure that you have dry air going to your gun at all times. So this is actually a DIY air dryer setup. I have just a bucket of water from a Home Depot bucket full of water. There's a whole stand down there. It's got like a little pump and a thing to circulate the water back there through a radiator. All that I ordered online and put together, and it actually works really good at keeping the at cooling down the incoming air that's coming through this tube right here. There's a copper coil in the bucket submerged in water, and it comes back up through this tube right here and then goes to the first filter and then into the tank. And then from out the tank, you go over here to my board of other various filters. So we just have a regular filter, and then some more air filters, mist separator, and then this is the quality air dryer that'll keep the air nice and dry and prevent any moisture from getting to the gun. And then have my paint tube that goes all the way down and then into the booth over there. So just getting this entire setup took a long time. This air compressor was a different project for me. I found this on Marketplace for like 200 bucks and rebuilt it, repainted the tank, rebuilt the head and the motor, because air compressors like this are actually like very expensive, like 800 plus for a 60-gallon tank compressor that can pump out the air that this one can. I'll probably do a whole video on this setup another day, just to show you what you can manage to do as a DIYer. You can get something pretty good for relatively cheap. I mean, all the dryers and stuff are pretty expensive. You can't really avoid that, but you know, trying to find a nice tank, an air dryers are very expensive, or commercial air dryers are very expensive. There are a lot of different options out there that can help you get your air a lot cooler and drier. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you would like to see a more in-depth video on this whole setup. I can go through every single thing I got, how much I paid for it, how I set it up, and especially the custom air dry. If you want to see how that's set up and how that works, let me know in the comments. Okay, so after filling all those videos, the car kind of cooled down a little bit, and I actually went through off camera just now and turned the heater back on and heated it up again, and it came back up to temp. So now I'm getting 70, 69, 68. Yeah, so now it's back up closer to 70. I'm gonna wipe the car down, and then I'm gonna go get the paint mix while the degreaser and everything is evaporating off the car. So I'm just using these Scott rags in a box. I would like something that I was using like blue shop rags before, and I was looking it up and I couldn't really find people suggesting things that were actually best to wipe the car down without leaving so much lint on it. But this is what the guy at the paint shop gave me. So I'm going to assume that this is fine enough for what I'm doing. It seems, I guess it's all right. Well, the car's pretty dirty still. Must have been stuff that, must have been settled dust or something since I've been gone. But basically just want to take a rag, wet it down, and then go over it and get all that settled dust and gunk off, anything that'll mess up the paint adhering to the body. So you can see it's pretty dirty. You just want to go through and do small sections at a time. So you make sure you don't miss anything. And then come through with the clean dry rag and wipe off any excess grease remover so we don't get any chemicals drying on here. And last time I was spraying this directly onto the car. I'm honestly not sure if there's a science to this, if there's one technique that's better than another one. I noticed that if I spray directly onto the car, it obviously gets a lot wetter. But I just personally feel like it's cleaning it more, I guess. So again, coming through with the dry, clean rag after I have wiped off the solvent and stuff. Still looking a little dirty, especially up here. So spray some more. And if anyone knows too, if anyone in the comments could let me know what type of rags you use when you're prepping for stuff like this. I would assume these are kind of lint-free rags. They don't say them on there, but they're not letting off that much lint. But I'm not sure if they're like special rags that are probably designed for this, that leave the best surface. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead after I wipe this down and lightly run a tack rag over everything just so I could make sure I get rid of any lint that might be on there from using these rags. But yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if there's anything that you guys use or prefer, or anything that you found better than these kind of shop rags in a box. But yeah, basically, that part wasn't that dirty, so that's good. But basically, I'm just gonna do this on the rest of the car, go through, wipe everything down, and I'll save you the boredom of doing this because it's not a lot of fun. And then I'll get back to you when I'm done. So I cracked this open. It looks kind of weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up. Kind of tough there on the bottom. So I'm just gonna try to stir everything in. Okay, I'll make a mess at the same time. These gloves are kind of weird. Or these gloves are too big. Let me get some smaller ones real quick. kind of clumpy. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure if I should have taken this somewhere to get it shaken together or what. But I'm just gonna keep stirring it up. See if it doesn't mix back together. Okay, seems to be getting a lot smoother, so I think that's good. Okay, I think got that to a pretty good consistency now. Seems to be pretty uniform. Also, I have these strainers I don't want to forget to use when I pour this in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this now to 8 ounces. And I'm gonna go ahead, crack open the catalyst. Don't know if I have to stir this one, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh yeah, it's definitely got some hard bits there at the bottom. Yeah, see that nice clump of stuff? I'm gonna try to get that mixed in. All right, hopefully that's good. And then last but not least, I'm going to pour out this reducer to get it around 19 ounces altogether. I love when it spills everywhere. There we go, now we're a little over 18, which is where I want to be at. So I'm going to now mix this all together. All right, now that that's all mixed up, I'm just gonna throw this lid on here, like so. And then close that. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do 2 coats of this stuff, but like I have no clue how much this will cover. I don't really want to stop. I guess it doesn't really matter if I stop halfway through to mix another bottle. This has a pretty long pot life, so I'm not worried about it going bad while I'm painting. I think I'm gonna mix one more of these just so I have it on standby while I'm doing the first coat and see how that goes. But anyway, I'm gonna cut the camera, mix one more of those, and probably the next clip you'll see is me in the booth actually spraying this stuff on. just turning around here. So basically, I started up here in the front, down here specifically, and then when I was passing over here and like up, I was pretty much using too much material. I don't know if you can tell, so I'll find a spot like, you can see how it's it's a little thinner here. A little thinner here, and you can see like here it's all right. Like you can see how it's feathered on there, like a good first medium coat. And then spots like up here where it's just completely solid, especially over here, completely solid. And then down here is where I was using too much paint. So by the time I did all this, got down here, my cup was running low, and then it stopped spraying like up here. And then I started to do better about like, I mean, even like pretty much this entire thing, I think I sprayed it on too thick. And then back here, I was like, okay, I'm using too much. And then I started to thin it out a little more just to get some coverage for the first coat. So it looks a little better back here. But it's been about an hour since I finished that. I'm letting it tack up a little longer than it would usually take because it's colder in here. So I just want to make sure it finishes off gassing and everything before I put the second coat on. So yeah, that's why I ran out of paint before I could finish this top or bottom wheel well, which is kind of bad but also good at the same time, because now that I have this to still paint, I'll try to pop the camera up here so that I can give you a view of what the first coat looks like going on. So I'm about to mix up another batch of paint and get the gun ready again, and then lay the second coat. So my plan is to get these lightly coated. I missed that one, the one down there, and I did the one I could see obviously, but then I missed the one down here too because I ran out of paint. So the plan is to hit those first very lightly just to get it covered, and then I'll go through and very lightly start doing the spots where I kind of laid it on a little heavier, but I'll try to recoat the entire car and then hit these again with a light mist after that, and hopefully let everything cure and it'll hopefully be fine. But we'll see. I mean, this is my first time doing this. Again, I'm not expecting it to be perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna go mix the paint up and then get the camera set up. So hopefully, so you can see me paint this wheel well up here. And then I'll also prop the camera up so you can see me lay on the second coat, and hopefully you get a chance to see how it starts to fill in a little more on the thinner spots. So see you guys in a second. All right, so I got the second coat finished up here and feeling really excited to finally be making some serious progress on the car. It's been sitting like this for a while, so to see it nice and painted and nice and sealed up is a pretty good feeling. I got the camera turned around here so that I can show you guys how it came out. Got covered pretty good. It looks like it's nice and sealed now, so the parts that were kind of a little thinner from the first coat and how it's supposed to be, they filled in really well. You can see this is one flat, even color. This will focus in here. Yeah, so it's all flat and even. It's looking pretty good. I think it's tacking up well. I also did turn on the space heater for a while after I had finished to bring the garage up to temperature. It's like 70 degrees in here now. It's like 40. It's not even 40 anymore. It's like, yeah, I think it's like 43 outside now. So it's pretty warm in here, and it usually holds heat pretty well. So while this is curing for the next couple hours, the most important time, it's pretty warm in here. I think I just checked the thermometer on the car, and it's like 65 on most spots. So it should be pretty good, warm enough for it to cure fully harden, and provide the most protection for the metal underneath. So things that didn't go as planned, as you saw, I had run out of paint in my cup on the first pass. So I missed this top wheel well section and the bottom one and the one under here in the front. The only one I had gotten was that one. So basically what I did was I just mixed a little bit more of the paint. And as you saw in the video, I came and sprayed up it through here, a very light coat all around there. And I did the same thing underneath and the front as well. And then I went ahead and did, as you saw in the video again, I went back and sprayed the rest of the body to get that second coat on there nice and thick. Another thing that I mentioned already was how I had been spraying it on too thick for the first coat. I should have just been like misting it and getting it covered and not laying it on as thick as I was in the beginning. Like I showed you some of these parts up here and down there and kind of out throughout the middle. I had laid on too thick with the first coat. But that was just my first time spraying with the gun and getting a feel for how much of the paint should be coming out. But I think it turned out pretty good. So as far as next steps for the car, I have a couple tubes of 3M seam sealer, epoxy seam sealer. So I'm gonna let this cure. I might be heading out of town tomorrow or the day after. But when I get back, I'm gonna go through and put seam sealer on all the seams here, especially the parts where I welded. You can see like this. I know this is it's definitely not perfect. I did spot test it with a light to see if there were any pinholes, but if there's anything I missed, I'm gonna go through and seam seal around all the welds I made here, the welds I made for the spot plugs down there. So I'm just gonna go through and put seam sealer everywhere they had it on the factory too, so like along lines like this. And then once the seam sealer is done, I also have a Raptor liner kit that I bought for the car. So I'm going to be putting Raptor liner on the entire bottom of the car, the wheel wells, all through back here. The only parts that probably won't get any are like the frame rails up here, this section, because it didn't have any from factory. Well, not from factory, but they had some thick undercoating that was protecting most of the rest of the car. And the only place that didn't have it was the tunnel, the exhaust tunnel, and the frame rails down here. So I'm probably gonna leave those just with the primer on it for now. I'm gonna Raptor liner the floor pan here, and then everything else going back, and the wheel wells as well. And that'll give it some extra sound deadening, and it's going to protect it from any moisture getting through there. So hopefully we don't have any more issues with rust or anything in the future. But yeah, overall, I think for my first time, it didn't go as terrible as it could have. I'm excited to be making some progress on the car again. If you're interested in watching the videos, if you like seeing the progress that I'm making on this build, then definitely subscribe, give the video a like, leave a comment down below if you see me doing anything wrong or anything that can be improved. You know, I'm always looking to learn to see if there's anything that I can fix or do better next time. So definitely let me know what you guys learned from your experience doing things like this, and I'll definitely keep an ear out for it. Yeah, definitely give me a like and follow if you want to see how the seam sealer goes on and how I apply the Raptor line. Those videos should be coming out soon, as I'm planning on doing those the next couple days as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.